What's going on, family and friends? Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Terrence Manning. This is My Thoughts Uncut. We're going to talk about finally, Department of Transportation is revoking, suspending 17,000 CDL licenses. Let's take a look.
Well, today, the driver's licenses for thousands of commercial drivers across the state were revoked. And that includes operators of semi-trucks, school buses, and even some construction workers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says this is because they were illegally issued to, quote, dangerous foreign drivers. But the Trump administration and Governor Gavin Newsom's office have different stories about why this happened. NBC4's Alex Brosier joins us live from the Commerce truck stop with those details. Alex.
Yeah, today the Department of Transportation put out a statement saying that those 17,000 CDLs were revoked in the state of California because they were illegally issued. But the governor's office quickly responded, saying the Department of Transportation just isn't sharing the truth. Today, truck drivers got back on the road after filling up at the Commerce truck stop. On the same day, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said the California DMV.
Let's think about this. 17,000 people were driving illegally with the CDL license. One, let's talk about safety. That takes away the safety on the road. A lot of these people don't speak the language. They can't read the language. So how are they following the signs on the road? How are they communicating with other people on the road when needed? Also, that's also taken away 17,000 jobs that U.S. citizens can have. And I don't want to hear that, oh, U.S. citizens, they're not looking to become truck drivers or get their CDL licenses. That's false, because I've done a video before about this crazy thing that's going on with these fraudulent CDL licenses and how the DMV plays a huge role in it. And I've gotten many comments of people who were truck drivers, current and past, who told me, enlightened me, that this has been going on for decades and how it does take away jobs for US citizens because the wages go down when you get someone from another country who doesn't really care about getting paid the right amount of money that they should, when it's going to be more than what they are paid for back at their own country. Let's continue.
Revoked 17,000 commercial driver's licenses in the state because Duffy said the CDLs were illegally issued to, quote, dangerous foreign drivers. This morning, the California DMV asked the governor's office to respond, and Governor Newsom's spokesperson said, quote, once again, the Sean Road Rules Duffy fails to share the truth, spreading easily disproven falsehoods in a sad and desperate attempt to please his dear leader.
Gavin Newsom just doesn't care about the people in California. Doesn't matter what city you live in California. He doesn't care. He is basically saying that 17,000 people just so happen to be wrongly, falsely accused of having licenses that they shouldn't have, specifically CDL licenses. He doesn't care about you guys. Doesn't care about the country. And this guy's definitely going to try to run for president, but people, don't forget how poorly he has been for California. Ever since he stepped foot as a mayor, governor of California, he's been awful. I think he was the mayor of San Francisco at one point, but either way, he's been terrible. And he never holds anybody accountable when they do something wrong. And 17,000 people on the road that shouldn't be on the road, that's an enormous amount of people. That's highly dangerous. And that's the people we know about.
The governor's office says the impacted drivers are not illegal immigrants and that the licenses were withdrawn due to, quote, inconsistency with California law. The DMV didn't respond when asked for further clarification on what that means. But the news comes 1 month after a semi-truck driver who was in the United States illegally was accused of causing a crash that killed 3 people in Ontario. And it follows the California DMV's announcement in September that the DMV cannot issue or renew CDLs to people who are here legally in the United States but are not permanent residents or citizens.
We have definitely seen the impact on our students.
Rosie Trujillo is the office manager at the Los Angeles Trucking College.
We've had a student here and he had already his license, was working, family man, so he just had to go to the DMV and renew his license. He had a DACA, he went, and when he tried to renew it, he couldn't anymore. They said that they don't accept it unless he has residency or citizenship.
And that's the issue. You have to have residency or legal citizenship in the United States of America in order to get your CDL license. How are these people passing these tests if they don't even speak the language? If you can't speak it, you can't read it. So these tests are, they just so happen to know how to speak English now. They can read signs. Or is the bigger issue is that the DMV is behind this too? We need to find the root of the issue. And like I said, I've done videos of this before. It's mind boggling how these people are on the road day in and day out. So the next time you guys are driving on the road and you see a truck driver, you don't know if this person is actually legit and they passed the test.
And Rosie says most of their students weren't born in the United States.
Not a lot of people that have the citizenship or residency want to do this. It's people that come from other countries with DACA, with work permits. They're the ones that really want that change in their lives. And they were the ones coming to get their CDL license. We're just afraid that it's going to.
That's false. I call lies on that one, as the young people say, cap, because there are plenty of US citizens who want to do this job, getting their CDL license, become a commercial trucker, whether it's bus or tractor trailer. They want to do that. But when you are hiring so many people that are not supposed to be here and can't even speak the language, what do you think is going to happen? The amount of earning that an average US citizen can obtain with a CDL license diminishes because you're hiring people that are taking lower wages. That is the issue. We're going to look at another source from Fox.
Welcome back. Now, new this morning, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing California's Department of Motor Vehicles has admitted to illegally issuing upwards of 17,000 trucker licenses to what DOT officials call dangerous foreign drivers.
She just said that the California Motor Vehicles admitted to this fraudulent activity. 17K illegally obtained licenses. And you got Gavin Newsom, who's just saying that this is not true. And he's calling out the Department of Transportation leader, saying that he's just doing what Trump wants him to do and following his leader, his daddy, which is not true whatsoever. California admitted, yeah, we've been giving out these licenses like candy on Halloween. And disregard the safety of the people that live in California and the people that are coming to California for vacation. Do you know how much of a tourist location California is, especially Southern California? And you're putting these people at risk, having these truck drivers out here?
He wrote this: after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong, Gavin Newsom and California have been caught red-handed. Now that we've exposed their lies, 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are now being revoked. They'll be null and void after 60 days. The Transportation Department is threatening to pull $160 million in federal money from California if all the CDLs are not revoked. Joining me now is DHS Public Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Tricia, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Give us the reason this is so troubling, these licenses.
Maria, this is a huge public safety issue in this country, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's happening here is California and other sanctuary states are issuing these big rig driver's license, these commercial driver's license for 18-wheelers to those who are in our country illegally. Oftentimes they can't understand law enforcement, they can't speak the English language, they can't properly follow road signs.
You know how dangerous it is if they get pulled over by a law enforcement officer and they can't communicate properly? It can lead to a tragedy because the law enforcement officer is going to think that this person's ignoring their signs and their ways of stopping them for traffic violations, because when you usually get stopped, you pull over, you put on your hazardous lights, but these people may not even know to do that. So now that's one strike. Now the orders that these officers are giving them is not being done. Why? Because they have no idea what the officer is saying. The officer is not going to take out his or her phone and go to Google Translate. Come on now. This is the when you get pulled over, the officer is going to expect that you know some English. May not know the full-blown scale of being bilingual when it comes to being efficient in the English language, but they think that you can communicate with them some way, some sort of way. You know what I mean? This is just outrageous.
We just saw in the last few weeks multiple Americans being killed by drivers who were driving recklessly using CDLs. This is a huge problem. Secretary Duffy has been a wonderful partner in this, incredibly proactive. And Secretary Noem has also been directing state and local law enforcement partners, including our ICE and CBP officials, to be going out to weigh stations, to truck stops, and making operations to make sure that this is a priority so the American families are safe who are driving on our roads.
Why would they issue the licenses in the first place, Tricia?
Well, in the state of California, it is actually illegal for the California Driver Association to ask these individuals if they're in the country illegally. So it's incredibly reckless policy.
That is a reckless policy. It needs to be changed immediately. You're putting people's lives at stake, not just people on the road, but the actual truck driver himself. You put in police officers' lives at stake because you just don't care who gets a CDL. How absurd is this? What if, can you go to another country, not know their language, not speak their language, not understand or read or write their language, and get a license, a CDL license over there? You think they're going to allow that? We need to change the policy. We need to crack down on the DMVs that are participating in this because they're liable too. They need to be held accountable. And why am I so passionate about this? Because I'm on the road. My friends and family on the road. I'm not trying to get into an accident. And can we just prevent accidents by not having these people on the road that shouldn't be on the road? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for all my other videos. And thank you again for watching. Peace.